Anything else? I know the wheels are turning.
They got some good ones.
Right.
Does it matter to you how a woman dresses?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
How? How does it, but be specific with me though, because
I think, Carlos talked a little bit about it, but
Okay.
and I can be specific about this, but I think you want to see class. Like, I want to see the level of respect a woman has for herself in the way she dresses herself.
okay.
And so, I guess, like, Amy's a really good example. Amy's my girlfriend. And one of the things I really like about, well, you know, I'm not going to assume everybody
Of
knows
course.
that's right.
We love you.
The growing audience of More Than Conquerors.
Right.
So Amy, one of the things I really liked about her right from the onset was just how modestly she dresses, but she still looks really cute.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I just think that there's a lot that says about how much respect she has for herself.
Yeah.
And that to me tells me a lot about her own like emotional health and her own like the health of her own self-esteem.
Yeah.
And not necessarily saying that like low cut, short, like all that stuff like doesn't necessarily say the converse of that, but I think that there can be some of that in that. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point.
I think for me, balance is important. I love a woman who, whether we're going to a wedding or a wine tasting, or whether we're going to like watch a live football game, or whether we're going to the gym, a woman who doesn't have one look per se, but looks just as comfortable in workout clothes and yoga pants as she does in like an evening gown and heels. Versus I would say a woman who does not own a pair of Chucks. That may sound random, but it's
awesome.
It's like just I think all cool women own at least one pair of Chucks.
it's good.
It's so.
I wonder if you have anything to say about this, Jason.
Oh.
Because I've worked in with clothing for a while now. I think the way a woman dresses does say a lot about her, and I don't think it's like you have to be nitpicky about it. But I do believe you can get a sense of a woman who derives her security from presentation.
Mm.
I would say also appropriately. I think that when at home and just being sexy, seductive, and things like that, that's cool at home. But knowing the difference between what's okay around your spouse and what's okay for public,
Yeah.
As well as just to add on.
Because there
to
is
what,
a difference.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, or like one of those, like you see people who go on a hike, like that can't even be comfortable. Like you gotta be freezing cold, or just like as guys, I will
Yeah.
speak for myself. Sometimes you see women wear stuff, you're like, that can't be comfortable. Like it's just you have to be freezing cold.
Yeah.
It's like it's just.
I'd rather
it's-
see a woman comfortable than
Yeah.
a woman sexy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there's something way more attractive about a woman that's comfortable
Great point.
than, you know, push up, tucked in. Like, not just like,
can't even breathe.
Like, there's just something about it. Like, so.
And that's kind of like what I was saying with the presentation thing, because I think there's something very sexy about a woman who is okay not revealing everything, or just who can dress herself well and then carry herself well. And she's presenting just like an image of herself that's confident without having to pull the... It's like in humor, when you hear like a sex joke, you're like, oh, of course you're going to go for that because that's going to get a look or a laugh. Yeah. And so I feel like there can sometimes be that kind of inclination with styling. And I understand, it's hard. I've worked with a lot of women with it, and it is hard. There's a lot of...
Be challenging.
self that goes into presentation. So I think it is something that I'm glad it's being addressed, because I think it's something that seems almost like trivial or material, but there's a lot to it. There's a lot of attachments to it, I'd say.
One quick thing to add before we move on, just what he said about just not revealing too much.
Mm-hmm.
There's something really attractive about creating mystery. Yeah. And I think like we all get excited about like not knowing, you know, Christmas Day, like the gift, the big one under the tree. And it's like, you know, it's maybe not even yours and you just can't wait to find out what's inside.
Yeah.
And
Well, if it's not yours.
Well, true. Fair enough.
You don't need to worry about what's inside.
But yeah, I just think there's something to leaving mystery, like
I know what you
something
mean.
really attractive to it.
You know,
I know what you mean.
that made me think about something. I was thinking what you guys were talking about is, we hear don't judge a book by its cover,
Yeah.
right? And so, And it's important, to not judge a book by its cover because the content could be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the cover of the book, the title of the book gives you some insight on what might be in there.
That's great.
And sometimes you don't even have to read it just by what you already see.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you see something, well, I like to read that one.
Yeah.
And you go in for more.
Yeah.
So I think all those are good concepts.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Can we start diving into something a little heavier?
Come on.
Okay.
That
was
with
a
you
go.
guys?
Okay.
That was
Yeah,
so
let's do it.
not heavy. So we get a lot of questions from our viewers, right? We want to make sure that we're kind of answering some of those questions.
Okay.
There's a lot of women out there who really want to hear from genuine men, which is why you guys are here. How do you know when you're dating a woman? So the world will tell you, at least from what I remember dating the world's way, just to be very real and very honest, after the third date or the fourth date, you have sex and you start, thinking about, oh, well, this is serious and, things like that. But when we date God's way, it's very, very different. How do you know when you want to continue dating a woman? At what date do you know that?